On the show, Young and the Restless, in a recap from Thursday, January 8, Jack makes an offer to Victor to take prisoner Matt, and it is time to make a deal. On Thursday, January 8, the recap for Young and the Restless Y&R says that Jack Abbott, played by Peter Bergman, would present prisoner Matt Clark, played by Roger Howarth, to Victor Newman, played by Eric Braeden, and suggest that it is time to strike a bargain. Jack will inform Diane Jenkins Abbott, Susan Walters, with updates on his conversation with Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, at the Abbott home. He will also keep his fingers crossed that he will be able to present evidence that Victor utilized the artificial intelligence program to destroy Arabesque. In spite of this, Kyle Abbott, played by Michael Mealer, will show up with some information concerning the negotiating chip that they have been anticipating. It is because of Kyle that the Abbott security team has been keeping track on all Newman activities for some time now. As a result, he will bring Jack and Diane up to speed on how things have been going. During the course of the conversation, Kyle will reveal that a man from Nick Newman's Joshua Morrow and Sharon Newman's Sharon Case past has been interrogating them. The fact that the man followed them from Los Angeles leads Kyle to believe that he was involved in the accident that occurred with Noah Newman, played by Lucas Adams, at the time. Following Kyle's discussion of the collision that the Abbott security guard saw, he will make the observation that one of the guards phoned for assistance while another guard followed the individual who was from Los Angeles. Before Matt Clark, Roger Howarth, is brought inside by a pair of security guards, Kyle will insist that the security crew has done everything correctly. Once Jack realizes that Matt is supposed to be dead, he will quickly recognize him and start reeling. In his defense, Matt will assert that his name is Mitch Bacall, and that the only reason he came to Genoa City was to be with his wife. However, Jack will not accept this argument. In the episode of Young and the Restless that airs on Thursday, Jack will acknowledge that they have Matt Clark and imply that it is time to make a deal once he has Victor on the phone. A meeting between Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, will take place at Crimson Lights. Holden Novak will confess to Claire Newman, Haley Aaron, that he has not yet shared the remaining details of the Los Angeles tale. Considering that both Holden and Claire could end up in jail, Audra is not going to understand why Holden is trying to win points with Claire. When it comes to the individual who had his head broken open before being laid to rest in a burial that was not marked, there will be some discussion. Audra will also have a flashback to the conversation she had with Holden regarding the body that was found in his trunk at some time. It is likely that Audra will recall how Holden gave her the instruction to go to another bar in order to essentially provide herself with an alibi. As soon as we return to the present, Holden and Audra will make things obvious. As a result of the tragic events that occurred in their past, Audra will admit that she was the one who drove Holden away when he first arrived in town. Holden will eventually come to an agreement with Audra to keep his mouth shut about the other details regarding Los Angeles, and Audra will agree to back off Claire. Billy Abbott, played by Jason Thompson, will confess to Sally Spectra, played by Courtney Hope, that he overheard her discussing her anxieties with Victoria Newman, played by Amelia Heinel, while they were back at their house. It is going to be regrettable for Sally that she did not have that chat with Billy and admit how terrified she is of everything that they have constructed crashing apart completely. Billy is going to understand because he has a tendency of crashing out, but he is going to reassure Sally that he has her back. Sally and Billy will make the decision to go dancing at the jazz lounge once they have finished their bedtime routine. Kane will be seen sulking in the bar at the GCAC, and Phyllis Summers, played by Michelle Stafford, will presume that she is looking at a depressed Kane rather than Aristotle Dumas. Her assumption will be correct. Phyllis will be pushed by Kane to leave him alone, and it will be made quite evident that Dumas has left. Not only will Phyllis argue that she is Kane's only friend, but she will also make it abundantly apparent that she is not going to give up on him. At some point, Kane will find herself eating at an adjacent table, and when she sits down, she will also rage about Phyllis's unrelenting behavior. With the help of Phyllis, Kane will confess that Lily kissed him on New Year's Eve, and then she will leave town, thereby closing the door on him. Phyllis, on the other hand, will not believe that Kane ought to be surprised because Lily is usually critical and does not forgive him for his mistakes. In the event that Phyllis's hope for an alliance against Victor is brought up, she will emphasize her plans to take control of Newman while Billy is there and listening in on the conversation nearby. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, Billy will undoubtedly want to get in on Victor's collapse, so make sure you don't miss out on the turmoil that is coming. Since CDL is the place to go for Young and the Restless spoilers, news, and updates, you should consider us to be your primary source for Y&R information.